an important, guys, expressing yourself in English isn't always about happy things, right? So I think this is such a good question because, it's truth. Like, this is life. So what can you say when you just can't forget something somebody did, and you can't let it go, right?
Okay. Yeah. So one thing you could say, for example, is
you can't let it go. I mean, there's no, I put this in here, even though we've said it 100 times because we've been saying it and it's just perfect. Like, if you are just can't forget something, it's going like bouncing around. Lindsay, you said like rumbling around, right?
Yeah. Rumbling around.
It's such a great way to say this. So this is actually, I think our listener actually said can't let it go, but I wanted to bring this up because I think it's a great one. So for example, you could say like, I know you're sorry, but I can't let it go that easily. Right, Lindsay?
Yeah. It's also very kind of idiomatic, kind of natural. It's not boring at all. It's a good, and if you're speaking to a native speaker, they're going to understand exactly what you mean. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So that one kind of just rolls off my tongue. So I had to give a shout out to that one because I like it.
Okay. I like it. And then maybe the next one, for example, is to resent. So this one's a little more formal, little different.
It's a little bit different. It may not be like bouncing around in you, but it's like you have a bad feeling because of something. So in that sense, it's like it sticks with you, right?
Yes, toxic. Wow. So here's an example. She's a nice woman, but I honestly resent her because of that time she yelled at me in front of my coworker. It was so embarrassing. Ooh.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like when we hold on to things, it hurts us more than it hurts the other person.
Yeah, I was going to add that. Definitely. I mean, I've definitely been in situations where, something goes wrong with a friend for a little while and, you build up, it's painful and it's stressful to carry that around with you. And so, when I've ended the situation and like made up with the person, then it's like, it's just like a load off your shoulders, right?
Yeah, for sure. And sometimes it's like coming to an agreement with yourself. It's more about your self-work than saying this person did this to me, but it is okay. And I am a strong person and it is okay. And I can move on,
Right.
So
Right.
Deep. Okay. What's another one, Michelle? Is there another thing we can say?
Yeah. Another thing you could say is you could use the word bitter.
Yeah.
So the other day we did bittersweet. Today we're doing bitter.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But this is totally different, right?
Exactly. So, yeah. So this is just to have this like feeling like all the time of like anger or hurt or just being upset with someone. Right, Lindsay?
Yeah. And I know there is in like, for example, in Spanish, I know there's a direct translation for this. And yeah, for sure. It's a lingering feeling of animosity, negative, feeling hurt or feeling angry. It's kind of a low lying hum of anger below the surface.
Right. So you could say like, I'm still bitter because he never paid me the rent he borrowed from me, right?
Yeah, for sure. That would be bad.
Yeah, really.
Definitely. Money is probably the number one thing that leads to bitterness.
Yeah, very likely, Lindsay.
So yeah, I mean, Michelle, do you have any other thoughts to add about just kind of like letting it go?
I just wanted to, it's what we were saying before. I think that carrying around anger and hurt is just stressful and not worth it. And you may, like, the thing is, when you carry those feelings, the other person can't feel it, right? So if you're upset with someone and you're carrying it around with you every day and you're thinking about it a lot, it's like the other person doesn't know you're thinking about it that much. So you're not hurting them, you're only hurting yourself.
Exactly. So it's kind of forgiveness that we're talking about here, right? It's an inside job, as they say. It's inside work. It's like inner work.
Right.
It's not about that person. It's not about finding that person and saying, I forgive you. It's okay. No, it's about working with yourself and going inward.
Right. And, again, just, expressing ourselves though, it kind of maybe, talking about and using some of these words can actually help heal. If you just like say it, then you can be like, okay, this is what's happening. I'm identifying that there's this problem. I'm saying, oh, I can't let it go or I resent. And when you start to hear yourself saying those words, you might be like, wait a second, like,